I came to ask you to help us change that and reclaim our identity. And the way to reclaim our identity is to choose people who will make the right decisions. It's that simple. It's that simple. First, we have to identify people who have good common sense and who agree with us, because, I mean, we have good common sense. Casper is such a person. And then we have to find people who have the courage to stand up. Casper Stockham has that ability. We have to have someone who has a good heart. You know him. You know him. You've known him longer than I have. I certainly know him well enough to know that he has that kind of heart that we need in Washington, D.C. He is articulate. We must have someone who is capable of translating those good ideas into speeches on the floor to convince other people not to make bad decisions and to convince them to embrace the good decisions that he will be advocating. He has that articulateness. So I came all the way from Louisiana just to talk to you about that. So I'm going to ask you to do a few things. Number one, it takes a lot of money to run a campaign, so I'm going to ask you to talk to your friends named Franklin and Washington and all those guys on those green pictures and help him fund this campaign. It's very important. The second thing I'm going to ask you to do is to roll up your sleeves and get involved. Walk the streets with him. Knock on doors with him. Ask your friend. Hold a party at your house for your neighborhood. Block party. Create a phone bank so that you can call and remind people. And the closer we get to election day, you want to remind them a bunch more times. Every idea that you can come up with that will spread the word and get Casper elected is important. And one more thing. We need to be prepared for whatever comes. That means being kind of nimble on your feet, mentally nimble, so that whatever comes, we'll be able to respond to, because they're going to throw everything but the kitchen sink at him. The more he rises, the greater the target he will become, and they are going to call him, well, they already call him everything but a child of God, but they're going to make up all kinds of stuff. And we need to be prepared for that. I have a cousin named Clovis Fontenot, from down in Louisiana, and Clovis went to New Orleans one time. He met a woman there, what they call a New Orleans Creole. Fell in love, took her home, married. They've been married 30 years. So he decided that they were going to go to New Orleans to celebrate their 30th anniversary, and so he went to New Orleans, and they got the top floor room, champagne, moonlight shimmering on the Mississippi. It was a very romantic evening. And she spoke up first. She said, "Man, Clovis, tonight we're going to do the same thing we did 30 years ago. Go ahead." I said, "Oh, yes, we will. Remember what we did? First, you put your arm around me and you squeezed me real tight." So he did. He put his arms around her and gave her a big hug. And then, Shaq, you know what you did. You kissed me right on the mouth. So he puckered up and gave his best kiss. And then, you remember, you bite me right here on the neck. He jumped up and started running. She said, Clovis, come back here. Where you going? He said, man, I'm going to the bathroom to get my teeth. Clovis went into that room unprepared for the challenges that he had to meet. And so I ask you, my brothers and sisters, as Casper faces this election and prepares for it, that you be prepared for those challenges and you stand by him and keep him prepared for the challenges that he must meet. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. We enjoyed having you, and please support in every way that you can Casper Stockham.